Okay, you all, let's come in. Let's talk about this crypto crash, in particular Bitcoin. That's at what was it? What is it? $44,000. Let's come in. Let's talk about this. Good morning to you. Come in, hit that like and share button. Come in and hit that like and share button. Excuse my voice. I I coach girls basketball, and it is raspy. I am a little hoarse. I've been drinking my tea with a splash of honey. It's gotten better. The only thing that get it better is when I rest, and as you can see, I'm still using it. I'm not resting from it, so try to save my vocals. So you all come in, hit that thumbs up. Let's look at the crypto market. And let's talk about the waning moon. Grand Rises, Gwen. Gwen, I actually went live. I live streamed last night. I think, I don't know, it was midnight or something. It's an interesting live stream. Had pretty good participation, so it's a pretty good live stream. Let me adjust this again. All right, there we go. I like that better. You all come in, hit that thumbs up. Let's talk about this crypto market. Let's talk about, thank you. Let's talk about this waning moon and good morning. In advance, I'm going to tell you my voice is a little, well, it's a lot hoarse. So you're going to hear some raspiness in it. So come in and hit the like button. This is what crypto looks like right now. All red. No, I'm not a night owl. Some reason I just, I actually came home and directly went to bed because I was tired. And so when I went to bed, I just woke up at that time and I'm like, let's see who's up. Let's live stream. It actually was a very good live stream, to be honest with you. It was a good live stream, a very good live stream, to be honest with you. Just had one person on there that wanted to challenge me about Matthew 28 and 18. And we was going back and forth. But some of the things that I discussed in the live stream is how to hire your house. You know, have you all ever heard of that? How to hire your house or your apartment or your townhouse or your condo, wherever you are living, if you are renting, right? How to hire, how to get money out of your house. In the Bible, they call it the fish's mouth, right? Get money out of the fish's mouth. Um, but how to get money back from your rent. Yeah. So we're looking at this market. Specifically, let's look at Bitcoin. So let me show you all another. Let's go on coin 360. H bar is 15% Bitcoin. It's coming back up, but it was as low as 44,000. Let me fix my shirt. Bitcoin was as low as 44,000. So it's at 48. So let's talk about the moon cycle as well last night and discuss the effects or the effect that the moon cycle had or have as well. I see that EOS, okay, so EOS, hello to you, Edward. So again, hello, I'm sorry, I did not see this. Greetings to you from Belgium. Thank you for tuning in from Belgium, right? Guru James says, dollar cost I average by more low. And thank you, Gwen. Grand Rising, she comes in with the 1111 super chat. Thank you so much. I pray that returns to you in great avalanches of wealth by divine right. Excuse you all, me clear my throat. I'm just trying to get my hoarse voice together. and that it returns to you in increased avalanches of wealth, multiplied 1,000 times more than what you distributed out by divine right, right? By divine right. I'm actually going to break down 1111. If you all follow Nino Brown, for example, Nino Brown actually has a, oh my God, it's not a book, but it's an 1111 download that you all can get. And so I will go into 1111 on this live stream, but let's get into this. And the waning moon that we experienced last night, we did not experience a full moon or a new moon. The moon has different phases, and the moon also has an impact or effect on cryptocurrency. I know you all know about, or maybe you don't know about Omicron, and now they're saying it's in 10 states in the United States. So Bitcoin was as low as 20%. Now it's moving back up at 48,000. Ether back at 4,000. It had reached its all-time high just a couple of weeks ago, breaking $5,000. And for those who may have gotten into the market late, this is actually a great buying opportunity, as a lot of crypto is in the red. And I don't even like to use the word buying. I like to say investing opportunity, right? Because I want people to understand that this is definitely an investment. This is definitely an investment. This is not gambling. Give me a second. My Wi-Fi signal seems to be a little weak. Let me fix my Wi-Fi. Or attempt to fix my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi signal seems to be a little weak, so let me see if I can connect on another repeater that I have. It's looking a little blurry, but we can get past this. So let me look at the strength of the signal. Okay, it's strengthening up just a little. So just giving you all a heads up. I do know that the signal might be weak, and you might experience some blurriness, right? Some blurriness in my Wi-Fi signal. So with that being said, Gwen, as she gave 1111, we are going to break down the numbers 1111, a new revelation or discovery from my live stream on last night that I found out. So we will discuss that as well. So what is the waning moon, right? What is the waning moon? As the moon has different phases, so we see the waning crescent moon. Again, the Bible specifically talks about the full moon, the new moon. I'm sorry, the new moon, not the full moon. The Bible specifically talks about two things: the Sabbath day and the new moon. So last night we saw the waning crescent moons. This is the last phase of the moon, people. And most people don't know this, but people have only seen one face of the moon. You've never seen the backside of the moon. So during this phase of the waning crescent moon, the illuminated, I said illuminated part of the moon gets smaller and smaller until the cycle meets the end. And then it begins to start again with the new moon. So the waning crescent moon is meant to restore, right? To restore, to reflect, to release, and for recovery. But it also means to reset. And this is why the Bible mentions the new moon and the Sabbath together, because once you look at the Sabbath, y'all, give me 1 second. Let me try to fix this Wi-Fi. I don't want to live stream if my Wi-Fi. So let me give it an opportunity to reset and to reboot. And I'm trying to fix everything here because this is early morning for me. So the waning crescent moon is to reflect, release, right? Recover and to reset. And this is the moon phase that was experienced on last night to reset, to reboot, recover. And so as a resetting, as my daughter and I was discussing this morning, as we discussed the cryptocurrency and what happened, anytime something is on that bull run, and it's reaching new highs, it has to have a reset period. It has to have a resting period. You can't expect any system, not even your body, to continue to rise and rise on a high and a high and a high and don't have a resting period. And this is what the parable of Genesis 1 is explaining. Many people look at it as creation, but this is a system that gives you a system, I say system again, that you should operate in your life, in this earth realm. See, there are magical powers, people, magical powers to the number of patterns found in the Bible. Let me say that again. There are magical powers to the number of patterns found in the Bible. And most people don't understand this, right? Most people don't understand this. Thank you so much, Devin. Gwen, if you're still on, can you? Gwen is like my virtual assistant online. Can you help Devin with this? So once I began to understand this concept of numerology, gematria, the moon cycles, the sun cycles, as the heavenly bodies or heavenly beings, the sun, the moon, and the stars were sent are here, according to Genesis 1:14 through 16, to give us signs and wonders, right? To give us signs and wonders. And so the waning crescent is a phase just before the new moon. And it brings in a wealth, a new opportunity. And that's why I was telling people as we experienced that moon last night, for some people that's prepared and that are visionaries, this is a great opportunity for you. Now, other people might be, well, Queen, what if I bought in at a high, right? Um, what if I bought in at a high? Well, I say this to you. Number one, I always tell people all the time never to buy in the green. There will always be red. There will always be resetting, right? There will always be a reset period. Always. The Bible says, as the earth remains, there will always be seed time and harvest time. And many religious institutions have misconstrued that scripture to talk about, seed time and harvest time. But it's a bigger picture than that. Because as the earth remains, people, there will always be a rest and reset period as well. It will always be a time to plant seeds and a harvest time. There will always be an exchange of services. And this is what Genesis, that many people have just made a very story of creation. Well, it's not the first creation, right? The earth has been around longer than humans have. And so in Genesis, it tells you that God said he blessed them and said, be fruitful. He was speaking to Adam or Atom or Autumn as in science, and said, be fruitful and multiply, have dominion and subdue and replenish. Replenish the earth, meaning that a mean it was something there before. Recycle. This is where we get the infinity, or the infinity sign or symbol rather. And so when people say, well, Queen, you're talking about the moon and stars and astrology in the Bible and how it affect crypto, I know JP Morgan quoted this best. And he said, JP Morgan's quote is that millionaires don't use astrology, but billionaires do. So once you're ready to transition to a higher phase of trading, whatever you trade, once you can understand astrology, not the TA, not the technical analysis, but once you understand astrology and how the moon cycles, and also the sun has its place, right? Then you'll understand the alignment of God's heavenly creations, right? Celestial creations, and how that impacts or affects man's currency system. So you can be in alignment with that. So the waning moon again is a time to renew, to withdraw, as we saw a big withdrawal in cryptocurrency, and to rest and to reset, right? Um, and it also affects the mood of people. It slows down your energy, right? And so that's probably why I went to sleep early. Yes, yesterday evening. You have a energy slowdown, and this is just divine phases. That's the nature of human life, and it's going to affect the currency system, right? And people, all I'm saying is, if you are a trader, I don't do leverage trading. I think a lot of people get confused, right? Thank you so much, Devin, for the $20 super chat. I do not do leverage trading. I don't do crypto trading. I buy and hold, and I build my cash flow. And I build my cash flow to get more assets. And people ask me, are you into Bitcoin mining? How do you trade? I do not trade, because this is an asset that's going to have ever increasing value, specifically or especially Bitcoin and Ether and Ethereum. Not that other cryptos won't thrive as well, because all of these cryptocurrencies, as I broke down the number 12 a couple of hours ago, there are only 12 names in the Bible that uses two letters, right? I feel like shifting into numerology right now. And one of those names are AI. And I'm not talking about Allen Iverson. In the Bible, AI, and then another name is AR. AI is found, I believe, in Joshua 72. Let me make sure. And so as we have AI right now, people is I used to say, or I am saying now, that it's hidden in plain sight. But for some people, this is not plain sight for them, because they never been taught the magical powers of the number system and numerology system in the Bible. They never been taught that it's not just New Testament that's parabolic in the Bible. It is the entire Bible itself. So we have the number 22 as Devin comes in with the $20 super chat. And Gwen gave the 11 and 11. And 22 is double 11. You see how that works? Gwen gave 11 and 11. Devin gave $20. Now we have 22, which means double 11. And double 11 can symbolize disorder and chaos, disorganization, right? And so as we have these numbers, and I'm going back also, as we enter into the year 2022, let me slow down a little bit. It is going to look like disorder and chaos and confusion. And it's going to look that way, people. But I'm telling you, this is the biggest wealth transfer that you've ever experienced. And if I could say to anybody that woke up and they saw a loss in their crypto gains, or maybe you trade, I don't trade, but maybe you trade. I didn't even look at my exchange because it doesn't bother me, because I'm in this for the long haul. I'm in this for generational wealth. Whichever way Bitcoin and cryptocurrency moves, I'm totally fine with that. Desiree, I think Desiree says TV. Even Tesla use numerology as sacred geometry. That is so true. That's so correct, right? I see the 1111, Debbie, you're fine. So the 12 names in the Bible, I mentioned Joshua 72. Let's look into AI. Let's look into AI. And let's look at that from Joshua 72. Because I want people to see what I'm saying. That the Bible predicts all of this. You have someone to teach it to you in the correct way. So Joshua 72. Now Joshua sent men from Jericho, people to AI. Right? And it says, go up and spy out the region. So the men went up and they spied AI. And you hear this now, right? As artificial intelligence. It's the place that you have to go up to. It's a transformation of our technology system. It's a place that even Joshua in the Bible had never been before. And as we have Joshua 7 and 2 equals 9, which means the divine completion of a thing. And so people, as 2022, we'll usher in this new all power, this new AI, artificial intelligence, this new economic system, right? I want you to know that if you are holding, that this is just a loss on paper. And if you cannot afford to stomach a paper loss, right? And hold on to your real asset. And I tell people that for traders, I don't think they understand that they're trading cryptocurrency back into a cash-based fiat currency system that's about to crash and be totally done away with. And they don't understand that. They don't understand it. And, they don't understand that Bitcoin just December the 25th of 2020 was $25,000, and it is still $48,000 today. They don't understand that, as Jerome Powell already said, that inflation and hyperinflation, my daughter and I was discussing this morning, has to happen, right? That hyperinflation has to happen. People, what that means is that prices increases has to happen, and the dollar will be crashed out because people are going to lose more and more faith in the dollar. They're going to say, listen, the more of this we try to make, the less it's able to buy. As this article from Business Insider reads, a big reason for labor shortage is hiding in plain sight as daycares are losing workers. They're saying they're losing workers in daycares. So when that financial institution or the educational institution shuts down and parents now have their kids more at home, and now you see the increased pricing of groceries and utilities, your utility bills are going to increase. I've been saying all year that winter is coming. That winter is coming. And Gwen, you gave that super chat at exactly 10:11, right? Devin gave $20 at 10:24. And so now you can see that this is going to ricochet into the public school system, and we are to expect another closing or another shutdown. So double 22 is what is going to appear on the surface to seem disorder and chaos, and but that has to happen for this reset to happen. When Jesus rested, that word rest also means bankrupt on the seventh day, the Sabbath day. And for a bankrupt to happen, an old system must crash down for a new system to arise. And I told you all earlier that was Adam and Eve was not the first earth. That is not the origin of creation. The Bible says they had to multiply, subdue, have dominion, and replenish this earth. The earth itself is older than humans, than mankind. So now we see the number 10. 10 million job openings, people. 10 million job openings in the United States right now. There are 10 million job openings. And people are saying that they're not set up to work right now. So then we have the number 10. And 10 is a complete number. It is also considered a perfect number as well. Sometimes 12 and number 12 and the number 7 are said to be perfect numbers, but I don't 100% agree with that, right? But you see the number 10, 10 is completion, and 12 is completion, and 6 is completion as well. And so also you have the number 4 that represents the 4 phases of creations, the 4 winds, north, south, east, and west, the 4 corners of the earth. But the 4 phases of creation that were established by the 4th day in the Bible. There was light, the greater light to rule the day, the lesser light to rule the night. There was liquid, it was ocean and seas. There was life. The seed now was able to be transformed into fruit-bearing fruit in which man could eat and live off of, and it gave man life. It gave man nutrition. And it was land, all on the 4th day, those 4s. So number 4 represents the physical creation, and number 6 is the number of man. So 10 means to testify. It means, a testimony. It means law and responsibility, people, and the completeness of order. And so now 10 million jobs, a completeness of order is coming, right? A completeness of order is coming. The law and the responsibility. And I'm going to show you about the raising the debt ceiling. And 10 million jobs open remain unfulfilled. Americans are not content with the economic conditions right now. The reasons why they're not content, because the dollar is able to purchase less and less. So these reasons listed by MSN includes low wages, lack of child care options, and no mandated paid leave. So now, with the United States still extending the government shutdown to February, right? When I live streamed on this earlier this week, I talked about this, that it was a potential shutdown. It was a potential, but they keep extending it every 2 months. But at some point, right, this is going to come crashing down, like the Miami Towers, like the Miami condos, I'm sorry, and like the Twin Towers, right? The government wants cheap money so they can pay down debt easy. Exactly. And you know what? Gucci forever. If people understood these concepts of that our money is cheap right now, they would learn how to leverage debt. Money is so cheap right now, meaning it has less and less purchasing power. So why wouldn't you use or leverage debt, which is able to purchase less as far as relates to liabilities, to get more assets with it? People don't understand how to play the financial game. The poor will never understand how, right, to play the rich and wealthy game, because Gucci forever, they're not interested in a financial education. They're just interested in doing things like trading and flipping crypto. And there are some cryptos that you should trade and convert back into this cheap money and cheap cash. But there are some cryptos that you absolutely should not. So we got Omicron variant may have picked up a piece of a common cold. I don't feel like breaking down Omicron. I did a video on that. James 3 and 5, the word Omicron means a small things in the Greek and Hebrew. Uh, and your tongue is a representation. When that word tongue is translated into an omega thing, which is a great thing, and this variant is a small thing, but they're going to make it a big thing. And people are going to that don't understand the bigger picture is going to go out and see this as a big thing, as they've already said that CVS and Walgreens are just flooded with people who want to get a third or fourth, in some cases a fifth jab out of something that has symptoms of a common cold. And so this is New York, the variant that causes the C19 likely acquire at least one of its mutations by picking up a snippet of genetic material from another antivirus that causes the common cold. The common cold, people. And so with this being said, as my voice is raspy, it's not because of a cold. I did have a cold, but it's because I've been coaching and yelling, right? Um, I agree. Inflation is only good for the government. People are not going to protest. And honestly, protesting hasn't done much anyway. Whether it's a violent protest or silent. The best thing you can do is get a financial education and get your financial strategy together. Right? Yes, I've heard about the anagram of Omicron, which means, something ignorant or silly, right? However, it is the 15th letter with the O, and that word is the 15th constellation of stars. And I wrote down number 15, and it's placed in a reset. Give me a second, I might need some water. So, with that being said, people, if you are a holder or a hodler, this might not affect you at all. We're just going through a reset with cryptocurrency, moves by the moon, by the celestial beings. And, people, the biggest thing is, I've been telling people the whole time that winter is coming. Winter is coming. Look at this. Kroger raising prices on select groceries, says the CFO. So I had to go cut my air on because it was getting hot in my house. So Kroger's raising the prices on select grocery items, ongoing supply chains that aren't creating grocery shortage, right? Well, they are only creating the grocery shortage, but shipping delays. It says the economy took a big hit during the pandemic. Now, grocery, we've been seeing this, but unfortunately, some people have to see it in an article that prices are increasing and the supply and demand of groceries is decreasing. I had people that tell me about a month ago that their prices at their grocery stores wasn't increasing and the shelves were fully stocked. Right? Elite, I agree. It says the market is down. I'm only going to pump more in. But this is the thing. Most people have run out of cash flow to pump anything. They are shopping for, Thanksgiving. They're shopping for the holidays. Um, they only have one source of income, right? And they are looking at this and they may be thousands down again on paper, right? On paper. So let's look at this. I talk about the number 4, that it is symbolic of what will happen in the earth realm, right? And this is why I told people to get in position, get the home-based business. I had someone on my live stream this morning that was like, and we're going to get taxes for trading these cryptos back into our cash system. When we converted crypto back into our bank account, I'm like, I told you all that. I've been telling you all this for months. And that's why I've been telling you all to get in the home-based business with, so you can get the 470 tax deductions. You can have your tax shelter in place. See, I tell people the government knows you better than you. They know how to get money from you. Whether they're going to psychologically advertise to you to go out and buy stuff and be a consumer, or whether they're going to manipulate the market and people that don't have enough cash flow or only have one source of income, they cannot afford to hold, right? So they're going to transition that money back. And this is why, if you are not interested in getting a financial education, you're not interested in tax strategies, if you're only interested in flipping crypto to get back into a cash-based system that's about to crash, you will not sustain your status of being a thousandaire, a millionaire, a multimillionaire, a decamillionaire, or a billionaire. You will not sustain that status for long because your money is going to transfer away from you. Even with me being hoarse, I can still raise my voice. No, I'm not checking on the crypto. I'm not. Especially for people that come on my channel and you don't even give a super chat. I'm not doing that research for you. I only invest in people that invest in my channel, right? So do your own research with that crypto. I wish you well. So rent in Atlanta has gone up 30%. Exactly. It's rent, it's groceries, it's gas, it's daycare. Now they're saying they're losing daycare workers. Um, Everything is going up except a lot of people's financial intelligence, right? Except people financial intellect and their financial intelligence. So these four states, I got people that still, want to invest in the junk cryptos that have no sustainability, they have no use cases. And if you want a quick flip into this currency system that's about to crash out, then go ahead, right? Do this. So these four states pay unemployment benefits to unjabbed workers who was fired. So we got Florida, Iowa, Kansas, and Tennessee signed laws into recent weeks. If fired for refusing to comply with the C-19 jab, that you get unemployment benefits. So great news. More people may flock to these states because of that, to Florida, Iowa, Kansas, and Tennessee, right? But unfortunately, you have to be in this state at the time that you was fired already. So maybe more states will come aboard, right? But look at this, the difference in the U.S. employment from the pre-pandemic levels of February. You see a negative 5 million, right? Now we have 10 million. People, this is the greatest wealth transfer that this generation has ever experienced. And if you will position yourself to get another source of income, to get your tax shelters, and guess what, people? The home-based business is only a $228 investment. And it's based off of the John D. Rockefeller principle. Let me pull that up. That I would rather earn, and also my 111 code. My 111. This is a 111 here. That I would rather earn 1% from 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. This is the four 111s right here in the great quote of the great financial guru, the greatest financial pioneers, going on with the Henry Ford and et cetera, et cetera. But this is a 111 formula and code as well. I would rather earn 1%, that's one, off 100 people efforts than 100%, that's another one, of my own. That's four ones, right? That's four ones right there in that philosophy. And many people are, as a matter of fact, 78% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. But yet 70% of people consider themselves middle class. That's impossible. We cannot have a scenario where 78% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, they may consider themselves middle class and still be broke. And I tell people middle class is such a dangerous position to be in right now because you're in the middle. You're one slip or step away from being the poor working class. Some people are already poor working class, or going into another step of poverty, or you can be one level away from getting into prosperity, right? Getting into prosperity, as I just get text message from my phone, from my home-based business, that as I'm talking to you, I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid as I'm live streaming right now from my home-based business. If you, according to Warren Buffett, don't learn how to make money in your sleep or money without your labor, I'm going to add that in, you will work until you die. Let me say that again. If you do not know how to make money without laboring for it every time, right? Let me pull this up. Or make money in your sleep, you're going to work until you die. And people, you were created to do more than to work a job, pay bills, and die. And every now and then, take a vacation that many people cannot afford. So the IRS data proves that Trump tax cut benefited the middle working class Americans the most. So this is what data says. Don't come to me like, are you Republican or Democrat? I'm neither or. I believe in being responsible for my own economic system and not believing on the president to do that. Because guess what? A president has never done it anyway. And yet people still have faith and hope as they go to the polls every year to elect or select a president, right? So it shows that the middle class is going to definitely experience hyperinflation. Um, and people don't be, a lot of people take knowledge, but they don't understand the revelation from it. As we are experiencing the Great Reset, I'm about to log off because my daughter and I is about to have recreation time. I'm about to log off because my daughter and I are about to go and have some quality time together. So I'm going to get ready for that. But I want to end with this. The waning moon, the Great Reset, yeah, they're selected, not elected, right? It's always selected, but that's another live stream. So we got the waning moon last night. You got the Omicron, which means number 15. The 15th, let me put it in my gematria calculator. Uh, constellation of the stars, always the 15th letter of the alphabet. So here we have it, 8 plus 7 is 15. And people, the number 15, and again, I said magical numbers. The Bible releases numerology and gematria because it reveals the hidden secrets, the hidden things that can position you for a life of peace and prosperity. So the number 15 in the Bible also, as we had the waning moon, also represents rest. The type of rest that comes after deliverance, which the number 14 represents deliverance. So the first day, for example, of the Feast of the Unleavened Bread was a day of rest for the children of Israel or Israel. So the Feast of Tabernacles, people, is also a day of rest. As God told Abram or Abraham in a vision, right, that his descendants will end up as slaves, as this happened in America in 1619 for 400 years in a foreign country. In 2019 marked that 400 year. Now, a lot of people say this is Egypt, right? However, Egypt does not, when the slaves were set free from Egypt, it was not exactly 400 years as the Bible said. So in Genesis 15, it said they will be eventually set free. And again, if you have the foresight, right? If you have the cash flow, if you have the tax plan in place, you will be a part of the greatest wealth transfer. You may have 99 problems, but money won't be one of them. So freedom is the number 15, right? The number 15, as we see here, is a representation of freedom. The same with the number 50 that represents Jubilee, where people will be set free. And I know, right, numbers, yeah, numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. Someone says, don't forget the total solar. I'm just going to do that just for, which is 711. I just want to look that up while I saw this statement, right? And so, with that being said, people, this is just a number representation of freedom, right? And the number 50, as this 1971, 1619 to 2019 marked the 400 years in America that Africans were brought enslaved in a foreign land, right? 1971 to 2021 marks the 50th year anniversary that President Nixon made the dollar debt. And so that's the Jubilee year, the Pentecost in the Bible. The year of Pentecost, of freedom and Jubilee of free of debts happen, where you get financial freedom for those who were enslaved into a financial economic system. And so we have the 400 years of slavery, again from 1619 to 2019. So you take that number 50, which means freedoms for a financial system, you multiply that by 8, which is a divinely perfect period. The number 8 is the infinity sign. Also, another thing God told Abraham with 400-year period, he fulfilled his promise to Abraham that he would have a son named Isaac in that 400-year time frame. So the number 8 means the breaking down of an old to build a new thing, a new order. This is where the World Economic Forum calls this a new world order. A new order, a new creation. This is what God did in Genesis, the infinite God, infinite power. It is the true meaning of being born again. It's the event where things will be dead and new things, cash will be dead and crypto will be a new resurrection. And so that's the number 8, right? It's Jesus' perfect sacrifice happened. His complete victory over death, right? And in the Bible, boys were circumcised on the 8th day. That means taking off a shield of an old thing to reveal a new, the skin, the blindness off your eyes are supposed to be open. So the number 8 also represents circumcision, becoming a new creation, a new thing, a new order, the power of God's Spirit, right? And again, I talked about the Pentecost, number 50. Did you know, for example, that there's 7 weeks of a spring harvest, but that 8 weeks represents 50, which is also Pentecost. And that 50 frees you of your labor, is financial freedom, right? And so, people, this is happening. Again, I would look at this as the greatest wealth transfer, as a great thing that's happened. Cryptocurrency will continue to rise. People say, okay, this is your year of Jubilee. I want to see the actions behind it. I'm sorry, it said total eclipse. I didn't see that. Let's see the actions, because guess what? Affirmations without actions are dead. A lot of people just say affirmation. It takes affirmations and actions. And in the religious world, in the church world, people say, I receive. But you haven't repositioned yourself to receive. You haven't released anything to receive. In this universal laws in this earth realm. You must release to receive. You must reposition when there's a restructuring of what will happen in this earth realm. So that means if you're still in the cash-based system, unfortunately, you're not going to be a part of this great reset. And let me break down, right, faith without works are dead. Let me break down the number 11 as I got this revelation last night. The great reset, people, and the great commission. Then the 11 disciples, because Judas, the one that had financial greed, right? They had financial greed. That's a parable. But at any rate, the 11 disciples went to Galilee, right? To the mountain. They went to a high place where Jesus told them to go. So, you have to go to a high place. It's time out for hanging around same people doing the same thing, with low credit scores that just have one source of income. It's time out for people get on my live stream saying, I'm talking to people about cryptocurrency, they don't want to invest. Listen, if they don't see it, you have to see it for yourself. You cannot help the poor if you are one of them. So this was the revelation I got. See, a lot of people have information. They don't have revelation. Right? Devin, just text me. I'll send you a text message that'll answer that question for you. You're not giving the 228, you're investing it. Because the 228 is also tax deductible. So I send you a short video that explains how it works for that investment for a business, right? So just text 254-788-1144. But when Jesus in Matthew 28:16, the Great Commission, as we're experiencing the Great Reset, and they saw him and they worshiped him, even though some doubted, right? Then Jesus came and said to them, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. The number 11 can represent authority, that connection of authority in heaven and in earth. It also, the King James says, power and authority. So let's look at the King James Version, the most original version. 11:11, representation of power to the 11 disciples, an appointed time as Jesus appointed them in a high place as they went to the mountain. And our power, and another verse says authority. It is the connection of power and authority of heaven and earth. It is the transference that enters into 12. The number 12 is the number of reset. So as he said to the 11, the power is given unto me, he then transferred that power to them, right? And he said, go therefore, now you go forth and you teach. And teach and observe all things which I have commanded you to do. So number 12, people, is the number of government systems. As you see 12, and on jury, you have 12 jurors, and then you have the judge, which makes up 13. I'm not going to get into 13 today, right? But the 12 means a completion of a biblical system, or a government system, rather. I take that back. The Old Testament in the Bible in Genesis says there were 12 sons of Jacob. And these 12 sons then formed the 12 tribes of Israel. Jesus had 12 apostles, but in Matthew 28:16, he's speaking to the 11. In the book of Revelation, there's 12 gates that's guarded by 12 angels. 12 months in a year. 12 constellations of the zodiac. So the number 12 is a representation as perfection of government, but we know it's the opposite of what we are experiencing right now. The government is not perfected. It's not perfected at all. And so, but God's government is. And again, the number of rule and perfection. And so, according to the Bible, too, 12 is, as we said, 4 is what's prophetic or what would happen in the earth realm. It signifies the earth. So 3 times 4 is 12. As again, the heavenly bodies, the celestials, the sun, the moon, and the stars. I talked about the waning moon and how that affects cryptocurrency or affected cryptocurrency on last night. The number 12, because the stars pass through the 12 signs of the zodiac. And this is why you should know on your date of birth, where was the zodiac position, because that will tell you a lot about you, your personality, and your relationship with other people. So as these 12 stars pass through the 12 signs of the zodiac in heavenly procession, the number 12 represents people authority, appointed time. As in the Gregorian calendar, December is the number 12, represents 12. This is an appointed time and completeness according to the Gregorian calendar of a year's cycle. The number 6 is a completeness. Number 7 is not complete. The number 7 is divine protection. Divine perfection. By the 6th day, God said everything was completed. So he went into a divine rest, a recharge, a reset, a release, a reflection, and a divine perfection. So the number 666 is used by many people that think it represents evil. But people, let me tell you something. You do not understand good without evil. You do not understand happiness without sadness. You do not understand sunlight without the moonlight. You do not understand light without darkness. So it is believed. So what I'm saying, the yin and the yang, is not a bad thing. You don't understand the concept of heaven if you don't understand what hell is. They have to intertwine and work together. So 12, 12, 12, the double 666 signifies heaven, associated with government and cosmos and perfection and significant and appointment and authority. As Jesus was 12 years old when he spoke at the scholars in the temple, he walked into his power and authority. Also the number 12, as the numbers in the Bible, gives you magical powers to the number patterns found in the Bible. That's what numbers do. They give you magical powers to the numbers patterns found in the Bible. So you can walk in peace and prosperity and protection and perfect health. So 12 people is also the authority to drive out impure spirits. As Jesus healed a 12-year-old girl, Jairus' daughter in the Bible, the woman with the issue of blood suffered for 12 years. Central Standard Time at exactly 11:11. I'm reading my notes. She suffered from 12 years. The authority to drive out impure spirits and to heal every disease and sickness. And it also symbolizes perfection of government rule. The New Jerusalem. The wall of the city has 12 foundations, the names of 12 apostles. In Revelation, the city measured 12,000 furlongs and the wall was 144. That's the double 44. I won't get into that. So the number 12 is symbolic of God's spiritual kingdom, people both in heaven and on earth. And number 11 is allowing that passage through for you to enter into that. when the earth and heavens will be created to a new thing. Duality, as you said, apartment complex, 40%. People don't look at cryptocurrency as something evil. It will reshape our environment. It will reshape our culture. People are suffering from this because it requires 5G Wi-Fi, which will soon be 6G. You're going to see the 666. As 6 is the number of man, the number of man's will, the number of the wild beast, the pituitary gland, and your pineal gland. The pituitary gland is that reptilian gland in your body. You know, when people say don't make me go beast mode on you, that's what that represents. That ability, capability to do good and do bad is all within all of us. 666, protons, neutrons, and electrons. You know, we used to see on the cartoons or in movies the bad, voice on one shoulder, or the angel, or the evil voice, or evil angel on the other shoulder. That's all it represents. But you have to make the decisions for yourself. You have to take actions on which one you're going to listen to, which members you're going to yield to, as the Bible will put it. Right? So I'm signing out. You need more cash flow to buy in this great buying opportunity. It is a great buying opportunity. If you want to know what are my top picks for cryptocurrencies, over 9,000. Only 1,000 of them will last. I have a ebook that's Cash on crypto with a K.com. It's like the kryptonite of Superman. Is available to purchase for an investment of $75. Again, you want to get your cash flow to get in more crypto so you don't have to sell your assets. Then text that number 254-788-1144. Listen, I'm signing out, but how big can you think? Let me leave you with this. How big can you think? I want you to magnify your mind, manifest with your mouth. The power of life and death is in your tongue. And also remember Proverbs 6:2, that you are snared by the words of your tongue. It says that twice in Proverbs 6:2. What are you saying and what are you doing? Right? Multiply your money, people. Be blessed to be a blessing. Deuteronomy 28:11 says great prosperity. And maximize your mission in life. You don't have to, but you may have 99 problems, people. But during this great wealth transfer, money should not be one. I'm signing out. You all be safe, be blessed. Queen out.